2-point game. You can't go back and change it, but that has to be in the back of the mind of some of the people on the sidelines for the Spartans.
Yeah, I tell you what, both teams, if they go, whoever goes on to lose this game, I don't know if they're ever going to want to look at the film of this again.
Absolutely not.
I mean, because Greenbrier East, they've missed 3 2-point conversions. They've missed an extra point. Chapmanville's missed a 2-pointer. They've missed an extra point. Chapmanville has the only turnover of the game so far whenever they were going down to possibly put Greenbrier East firmly against the wall here in the second half. Chapmanville gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown. They gave up a fumble return for a touchdown. Somebody's not going to be happy. This game film's going to be burned by whoever loses this
I
game.
just recommend don't look at the game field, throw on our feed, just listen to the audio, but they can critique us a little bit. We've critiqued them all season long, so they don't have to watch it, just critique our calls.
Yeah, but this has been a wild back-and-forth game. And as soon as you think one side's got the advantage, the other comes right back. Again, this is Ali Frazier as both sides just continue to throw haymakers back and forth. But the 2-point conversion stop for Chapmanville keeps them in the lead at 33-31 with 3:13 to go here in the third quarter. This kick will come down, taken by Atkins, tries to get back into the middle, but he's brought down at about the 30-yard line.
Chris, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more exciting playoff game anywhere in the state across all 4 classes. We've talked about Chapmanville's resilience. We questioned it coming in. Not really questioned it, we just wondered about it because they haven't faced it. They have answered every single time. This is the most important time of their season, of the entire season. How are they going to react to a massive play off of a turnover to put this game in jeopardy? Let's see how they respond.
I agree. They've had a lot of adversity to go through in this game so far. They've been able to overcome it at each step. Can they do it again as they give it off to Kovac? Kovac runs over a couple of defenders, stays on his feet, still fighting forward. What a man. What a run. It's 20 yards and it's a first down.
What do you do when you need stability? You run behind that brute offensive line and put it in the hands of the people's running back. You let him, we called him PK 1K last week for hitting 1,000 yards on the season. That's exact play call that I would have went with. Doesn't mean much coming from me, but other great coaches would agree with Coach Belcher on that one because great call, stability, they're at midfield. Now they got the Spartan defense on their heels. Let's see how they can finish.
I tell you right there, that was a run of anger, frustration.
Yes.
And he got a lot of his frustration out on that run with that 20 yards back to midfield. So they'll give it off to him again. Here he goes again, carrying people again down to the 43-yard line, a gain of 7 on the play.
I've called out every lineman tonight, and the last one I'm going to call out is the center, Levi Robinson there. He gets a good snap. He's out looking at the next level, and that's why you turn a 3-yard play into a 7-yard play because you've got linemen down the field blocking. Great blocking down the line as a unit. It looks like Coach Barker, Coach Belcher, they're looking to rely on their workhorse right now, also eat some clock up, and they want to wear that defensive front down because they've been a very, very stout foe tonight.
We get 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 2-point Chapmanville lead here in the first round of the playoffs. They give it off to Collins, and now the play's going to get blown dead. And could be another false start infraction against Chapmanville here. No, that's actually going to go against Greenbrier, according to Chapmanville. And they got another encroachment penalty on the Spartans. I believe that's the 3rd or 4th one tonight.
Yeah, I saw the linebackers creeping up there to the middle of the field, right over the ball, and maybe a little bit overzealous. You know, everything's heightened at a high degree right now, Chris. It's by the moment it's getting more pressure, and these kids have to control their emotions right now and that adrenaline. You got to watch the ball. You don't want to give this team any free yards.
Guys, I do not know what's going on with the issue. We dropped the feed again a while ago after the 2-point conversion. We are back live again, but, you know, bear with us. If it goes out again, just come back on. We'll try to go right back live.
Dalton gives it off, fumble again on the play. And let's see who's got this one. Again, Chapmanville having their issues hanging on to the football right now, but it appears as if they got it back this time.
Yeah, this is the issues you don't want to pop up right now. Ball exchange in the backfield is a disaster. We've already seen it once. That's the 3rd mix-up they've had tonight. Very lucky to dodge that bullet there. Now they're behind the sticks. Let's see, you know, the pressure seems like it might be amping up a little bit on the Chapmanville offense. I think they can settle down, get back to what they do good, but they're facing 2nd and very, very long here, Chris.
Second and 12, Dalton will throw, has plenty of time, rolls near side, fires short to Collins, has good coverage downfield, and looked like Ward on the outside, or Atkins almost came up limping again there. It looks like it was Ward, but he now appears to have worked out that cramp.
Yeah, Dalton was looking deep on that, stayed patient, hit the check down on the sideline, lives to see another day. Definitely don't want to force anything into double coverage at this point of the game. So a good decision, minimal yards, but it keeps you alive.
Down to 18 seconds to go here in this third quarter. 3rd down and 8 for Chapmanville. It's Dalton in the shotgun. Greenbrier East showing pressure. They drop back. Dalton rolls to the far side, fires against his body, somehow fitted in there to Benji Adkins, and that's going to be right near the first down marker. It may be just a little shy.
We talked about the accuracy in the first half from Hamrick. That was a very accurate pass by Dalton. Very good coverage against Adkins there, but he fit it right in on the sideline, and it looks like it's going to be 4th and short.
That was a tough throw against his body, and great concentration by Benji Adkins to hang on to it, but it will be 4th and inches here for Chapmanville at the Greenbrier East 29-yard line. There's 2.4 seconds left on the clock here in the third quarter. This will be the last play of the third quarter. Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. Dalton under center. He'll keep it himself, pushes forward, and he should have the first down, and does, as he gets driven back late. But that will move the chains for Chapmanville. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter, with Chapmanville leading at 33-31 with a berth in the state quarterfinals on the line. We'll be back after this as you're watching high school football action right here on the D&D Sports Network.
Come on down to Ultimate Pond, located in Kermit, West Virginia, where we have all your firearm needs. Need cash? Trade in your gold today. From custom rifles and rifles accessories to the bare bone stock of pistols, we have it all. Come see us today at Ultimate Pond.
Greenbrier East trails Chapmanville 33-31 on the GMR service scoreboard. Chris Kidd, Dwain Williams, Darryl McCoy on the call here, guys. WVSSAC first round state playoffs.
Chapmanville able to convert on 4th down a moment ago to keep this drive alive after the fumble return for a touchdown by Greenbrier East earlier in the third. And now Kovac gets free inside the 10 and rumbles down to about the 6-yard line. Another 20-yard run, and he has really put this team on his back along with that offensive line on this drive.
You described it perfectly earlier, Chris. He's running so angry, and that's what you need in the fourth quarter. Great block up front. They are pounding this ball right now. I expect to see more of the same.
Again, with that brace on that left leg, he's really fighting through the pain here tonight as he'll take it again into the line. Gets bottled up this time, still trying to stay on his feet, and finally goes down at about the 5 for a gain of 1.
Nice stand there by the Spartan defensive line. I want to take a second to give a big shout out to a D&D super fan that watches every single stream since you guys have been around, and it is my uncle. He's down in Huntington, West Virginia, Alvin Dingus. He tunes in every single time he tunes in. He really enjoys the broadcast, and I'm glad to see him on there again tonight.
Absolutely, Alvin Dingus, we appreciate you, my man. It's people like you that makes D&D Sports what it is.
And he tolerates listening to me, so I appreciate it even more. So that'll be 2nd and goal from the 5 as Dalton from the shotgun gives it off to Adkins, turns upfield, breaks out of a tackle, and he's in. Touchdown, Chapmanville, his 2nd of the night. and the Tigers are an extra point away from a 2-possession lead.
If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times this season. When it comes down to the nitty-gritty, Chapmanville runs the off tackle off that left side, and more of the same right there. Great execution and a massive, massive extra point coming up here. Chapmanville leads by 8. The extra point makes it a 2-possession game. Let's see how the rush can affect this kicking game again, Chris.
Again, Suttle's been the disruptor off the edge here on these extra points. Can they get this through for the first 2-possession lead of the night? It's up from Farrell, and it is good. Chapmanville leads up 40-31 with 10:53 remaining in the fourth. We'll be back after this as you're watching high school football playoff action here on the D&D Sports Network.
Back here in Lewisburg, Chapmanville strikes again and leads Greenbrier East 40-31 on the Jim Marr service scoreboard as we're coming out with 10:53 to go in the fourth quarter. Want to remind everybody, you can smell my tart if you don't like the Chapmanville Tigers. Smell my tarts, great candle and wax business in Chapmanville. Blessings and Blooms, Rebound Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. Cheech's Pizza, world renowned for their cheese sticks, voted 10 years running best cheese sticks in West Virginia. Perry Brothers Pawn Shop, Logan Regional Medical Center, Logan Bank and Trust, Diamond Flagging Company, Aracoma Drug, White Eye Care, Missy Birchfield at State Farm, Chiefs Roadhouse, Styles Unlimited Salon, and Trend Services. Dwayne Williams, Chris Kidd, Darryl McCoy on the call.
10:53 to go here in the fourth quarter. Chapmanville has their first 2-possession lead of the game, the first 2-possession lead for either team of the game at 40-31. McClanahan had a false.
Yeah, a little balk there.
Yeah, a little bit of a balk as they'll pitch it back here. They're going to try and get it into Suttle's hands. He had the kickoff return for a touchdown to start the game. This time he'll get spun down, though, at about the 37.
Guys, real quick, let's read some comments here on the Jim Marr Service comment section. Johnny Wimpson watching from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Jody Stalling says, Tim Garrett, appreciate you tuning in. Regina Davis says, dang, come on Tigers. Brady Cox says, good run. We got Gabe Chapman says, way to go Tigers. Shirley Mann says, looking good. And Brady Cox says, what a hell of a game. This is the playoffs.
Well, you can hear the Chapmanville fans from all the way across the way right now, as they can smell some blood in the water with a 9-point lead here early in the fourth. But Hamrick doing what he's done all night long, staying poised in the pocket, and hits Stone for a nice gain to start this drive.
Just elite ball placement there, Chris. You know, Jeremy Collins was there with a great coverage. That ball's thrown to the outside shoulder where it has to be. If that ball's to the inside at all, that could have very easily been a pick six. Just precision ball placement.
And that's what's impressed me so much from Hamrick tonight is this is a Chapmanville defense that has been ball hawking, been coming up with interceptions throughout the year. They've got good corners, good safeties, and Hamrick's just been able to play clean football and get the ball in between some of these big-time defenders so far tonight. As that one, though, gets tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Jackson Topping with another one. He got the press immediately at the nose guard position. He realized he could not get to the quarterback. He actually took a few steps back, and perfect timing again. Fantastic play and timing by Topping.
And that's the sign of a really good defensive player right there, knowing you can't get there or it's not likely you're going to get there. Drop back, play against maybe a quarterback scramble, or get your hands up and try and deflect it away.
Absolutely. For as good as he is physically, he's got the mental game too. He knows the game inside and out, and that was a prime example of it.
Now it'll be 3rd down and 3 here for the Spartans. They'll flip it inside, try to go with a little shovel pass, but Chapmanville blows it up as nowhere to go on the play for Burdett. And now it's going to bring up 4th down for the Spartans, and this could very well be a pivotal point in Greenbrier East chances in this game.
Yeah, second half here is getting back to Chapmanville football. Only allowed 6 points so far in this second half. It's like the tale of two different halves here for the Tigers.
Yeah, adjustments were made. The intensity was amped up. That was a little bit of a trick play. Great reaction by the team. Jackson Topping busted up to begin with. Porter, Benji Aggins, others come in to finish it off.
So now 4th and 4. Hamrick looking to throw, pulls it down, looking downfield, fires deep. His receiver falls down, and they're going to get a flag out of it. As they say, Ward interfered with Tuttle, and that'll keep Greenbrier East hopes alive on this drive.
Such an unfortunate flag there. He just threw it up for keeps. That's what you have to do when you have no option. They're on 4th down. To me, at first look, a very quick look, it looked like they just got tangled up a bit. But when the ball, he didn't have a chance to catch that ball. So big pass interference call there.
Now Greenbrier East will get a new set of downs here with 9:15 to go in the 4th quarter. Trailing at 40-31. And again, Darryl mentioned just 6 points given up by Chapmanville here in the second half, and that was on the fumble return for a touchdown.
Yep.
So
yeah,
Chapmanville's defense is really stymied here in the second half.
Yeah, they have, and you got to wonder, they're going to be throwing the ball here, Greenbrier East is, and the Chapmanville pass rush, they have to be getting tired. They're going to have to muster up the effort the rest of this game.
Handed off on the inside, trying to get free inside the 40, and there's one of the more effective runs that the Spartans have had here tonight. They've just not had a whole lot of running room at all.
Just the usual, I'm sorry, Chris, just the usual suspects there again with, Austin Killing coming up there, Jackson Topping, Josh Porter there. All three of those guys consistently make plays on defense, and that play was no different.
Mingo Central advances to the next round with a 24-14 win over James Monroe. They will advance to play Frankfort.
All right.
Congratulations.
Well, big result in southern part of West Virginia and here in the coal fields. Can we get another here tonight as that pass off the hands of Suttle and incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down and 5 now with 8:36 to go.
Rare miss by Hamrick. We talked a few plays ago about how precise he's been, but that was just a little bit of heat on it, a little bit high, probably catchable, but could have been a better ball there. So it's going to make this a very important 3rd down. Obviously, they're going to be in 2-down territory the rest of the game as long as they trail by this. So, they got 2 downs to get it here. We're going to see their approach.
Again, Greenbrier East still has all 3 of their timeouts. Chapmanville with 2. Out of the pistol is Hamrick. Drops to throw, fires deep down the left side, and what a catch by Stone! And he's in for the touchdown.
Getting ready for sports means protecting those eyes. Up to 90% of sport-related eye injuries can be prevented with proper eye protection.
Fantastic coverage, just a good ball. He made a break on the ball, but he put that ball, I don't think that was a missed throw. Some people might think he missed that target, but I think he actually saw that defender with the way he was turned, put it where his guy can make a play on it, and we said he doesn't miss very often. The play before, he misses a very easy pass. That shows you why he has elite ball skills right there, and he showed it once again.
Yeah, the senior Hamrick has just been incredible here tonight for the Spartans as he brings them back to within 3. And now the extra point attempt by Obermeyer. He made his last one. Tough spot, kick is down, but it's off to the left. It looks like no good as they never quite got that snap and hold down clean. And it's a 3-point lead still for Chapmanville. But we're going to get a penalty on Chapmanville running into the kicker here. And so now what does Greenbrier East want to do?
They've had some hiccups in the kicking game. Now they're going to be closer to that 2-point try. We saw Chapmanville go for the 2-point conversion. It looks like they're going to do the same.
Honestly, I would here.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely would, because then if Chapmanville does score again, then an extra point still keeps it a 1-point game. And you force Chapmanville to have to think about what they may want to do here. So I agree. I would go for the 2 here now, too.
And you're probably going to see a play that Greenbrier East has the most confidence in at this point in the season because, it's win or go home and playoff football.
8.5 minutes to go in the game. They'll hand it off to the big man, but Chapmanville holds stout yet again, and the 2-point conversion fails once again.
Looks like David Browning in there first, held on while the cavalry came in to help him. big stand by the Chapmanville defense. Darryl talked about how good they're playing in this second half. That was no difference. And the struggles continue for the point after for this Spartan team. And if they go on to lose this game, like you said, Chris, they don't want to see these plays. They don't want to think about it. That's what keeps coaches up at night. But you got to give credit where credit's due to the Chapmanville defense.
And again, they have only converted on one extra point attempt here tonight. I mean, let's try and do the math here quickly. 6, 12, 18, 25, 31, 37. They've scored 6 touchdowns here tonight, and they are 1 of 6 on extra point attempts here tonight, either missing an extra point. All right, and that's the 4th 2-point conversion they failed on.
And you mentioned earlier about chasing a missed extra point with 2-point conversions early in the game. And you hear a lot of great coaches and people who know the game talk about they don't do that. They never chase because it's a long game. But in the playoffs, you want to make a statement. You don't know what goes on with the decision making. This is a prime example why you don't chase extra points with 2-point conversions early in the game.
Here we go, Barn Burner Brewing, good old-fashioned slobber knocker here in Lewisburg. 40-37 lead, Chapmanville over Greenbrier East on the Jim Mar Service scoreboard.
So it'll be Evan Strange on the return. He had a pick 6 for a touchdown last week against St. Albans, and he'll get this out across the 40 to the 42. Also had a big fumble recovery earlier in this game, too, for Chapmanville on one of those plays where they put it on the ground and he was there to be able to pick it up.
Yeah, that fumble recovery actually took place about the exact same spot on this field, so great heads-up play earlier, and you can see the athleticism he has. He's played quarterback for the JV team a couple years ago. He's a very good athlete, shows up on special teams, and I love to see guys who are used to playing skill positions and they're asked to play special teams and still play just as hard, and that goes to show you a lot about the culture at Chapmanville.
Now it's a 40-37 Chapmanville lead with 8:24 to go in the 4th. Can Chapmanville continue to match here? Again, a touchdown now automatically puts them up by 2 scores as Collins tries to get to the corner, gets grabbed, slung forward, and he'll pick up maybe about 2 yards on that carry as he went on a whirlwind trip that time, 360 a couple of times before he finally went down.
Yeah, and what effort just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like to be a big loss, but a great play by the Spartans. Braden Brown there in the backfield held on. Collins got back to the line of scrimmage maybe a half a yard, but, did everything he could to keep it from being a loss.
Guys, want to welcome Chapmanville State Champ Isaiah Smith back to the Ville. He has returned and is coaching the middle school, so good to have Isaiah back in town, guys.
Yeah, good kid, good guy, really like Isaiah, so that'll be a good fit for him. He's on 2nd and 9. They give it off to Kovac. Not a lot there, but he still gets it out across the 45, close to the 46, so he turned that into somehow a 2 to 3 yard gain. But now Chapmanville faces 3rd down, and this is a time where Greenbrier East absolutely has to have a stop.
Absolutely, Chris. I spoke about how tough Chapmanville is up the middle. Greenbrier East just showed that they can do the same, but unfortunately for them, holding Preston Kovac to a 2 or 3 yard gain is the essential like a loss to anybody else. So, but great effort there. And yes, Isaiah Smith is a great addition to Mike Tomlin's staff there for Chapmanville Middle School basketball.
Under 7 minutes to go here in the 4th. Greenbrier East fans on their feet, trying to get the stop. Now they go with the halfback. Toss deep. It's caught inside the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Jeremy Collins.
What a play call. You got the wide receiver pass, just perfect timing. Nobody's down there. What a play call. Austin Atkins was on the end of this play earlier in the season, like a halfback pass that went to a wide receiver, but great play call there. Out to the wide receiver. I think it was Austin Atkins that made that throw. Down to Collins. Perfect execution, perfect timing, great play call.
Yeah, and you saw as soon as they threw it backwards, that was what I was thinking. It's got to be the throwback touchdown, and it just sprung wide open for Collins. Again, they did not watch for Collins heading down the sidelines, and what a time to dial that up for the Tigers as Farrell on for the extra point, as they have silenced this Greenbrier East crowd for now. As Farrell's extra point, though, off to the left, no good, but it is still a 9-point lead for Chapmanville with 6:44 to play in the 4th. We'll step aside and be back after this as you're watching high school football playoff action here on the D&D Sports Network.
back here in Lewisburg. WVSSAC first round state playoffs. Chapmanville leads 46-37 over Greenbrier East on the Jim Marr service scoreboard with 6:44 to go here in the fourth quarter. Chris Kidd, Dwayne Williams, Darryl McCoy on the call.
Now Chapmanville set to kick off after they get the touchdown back to regain a 2-touchdown lead as McClanahan just squibs it straight ahead. Dangerous, ball loose for a second, but Greenbrier East able to get on top of it. Boy, Sawyer Dalton was bearing down on them that time to try and recover that, and they just barely did.
Yeah, he's intense with every play. He's full speed at everything, the perfect guy to have a chance at that. And, Chris, earlier we talked about, like, new wrinkles you're going to see in the playoffs. You're going to see stuff you maybe haven't seen. We've seen jet sweep passes, some trickerations from OC James Barker, but that was a perfect play call, and you can't really fault the defense for coming up and trying to make a play, but they've seen Austin Aggians take that pass and make plays, so they overreact to that, and nobody was back there to guard Jeremy Collins. Fantastic play.
And now Hamrick has to answer once again. Can he do it? He's been doing it all night. Throw against his body and almost intercepted at midfield.
Take it down.
And it'll be 2nd and 10 as Collins nearly came up with that. But now Hamrick's in a position where he almost has to gamble on a lot of these throws.
Yeah, and we've seen situations this season when teams have been trailing this Tigers team all season long, and when it's an obvious passing situation, when this defense can pin their ears back, they become a whole different animal. So he's going to have to force it. He put it low. Collins in great coverage and almost came up with a pick.
2nd and 10, 6:35 to go here in the fourth quarter. 46-37, Chapmanville leads it. Hamrick back to throw, steps up, trying to avoid the pressure, gets to the outside, looking deep downfield, now takes off with it, and Hamrick, nice little gainer.
Chris, they're wanting to know the score of the Bridgeport game. I'm pretty sure they play tomorrow at 1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so come back tomorrow at 1, and we'll see if we've got an update for you.
There you go. Speaking of update, Prestonsburg defeated North Central 35-6. We also had Lawrence County come back and took the lead 32-18 over Rockcastle County in that one, and Belfry with a 63-7 final over Martin County.
I'll tell you what, Belfry, they've been like a runaway freight train lately. As Hamrick back to throw. Has some time, now running out of time. Escapes to the near side, looking downfield. Has a man, and it's caught. What a job of keeping himself alive, and Green coming back to the ball to make the big 3rd down conversion.
You know, great play by Green, setting down in the zone, keeping the play alive. He sees his quarterback scrambling. He gets there, gives him a target. It's hard to fault the secondary on that when you give a quarterback, a quarterback has that much time. The defense flushed him out, but another example of Hamrick being a solid quarterback, keeping his eyes downfield, keeping the play alive, and you saw him just settle down. A huge conversion there by the Spartan offense.
Again, every time Chapmanville feels like they may be on the verge of putting Greenbrier East away, the Spartans continue to rise like the Undertaker is coming up in the pocket. Hamrick's going to get dropped for the first time tonight as it looked like David Browning and Josh Porter both there to help get him to the turf.
Yeah, Josh Porter was there for first. He was battling through a double team, came around, still fought through it. Hamrick doing everything he can to stay alive. Great coverage in the secondary. Great opportunity for the Chapmanville defense to make a play, and they did.
And that's a 9-yard loss on that play. 2nd and 19 as the clock continues to tick and the tension on this Greenbrier East side with their fans.
You can feel it, Chris.
Oh,
you can feel it.
It's ratcheting up big time now as they're seeing their season start to tick away here unless they can make some plays here in a hurry. As Hamrick deep over the middle, almost intercepted by Ward. He jumped that route, but Tuttle, or it looks like Tuttle actually got a little bit of his hands on it to help deflect it away.
Yeah, you mentioned the term ball hawk with this Chapmanville secondary. They have plenty of them. Trey Ward had an eye on that the entire way, and I think if Tuttle doesn't touch that, that's a pick right there.
And now you've got 3rd and 19 and 5:01 to go here in this fourth quarter. And if you're Greenbrier East, you have to feel like this has to end in a touchdown. Every drive has to end in a touchdown right now because they have yet to stop Chapmanville without Chapmanville turning the ball over here tonight. He's back to throw his Hamrick again. Rolls to the outside, looking downfield. Still looking, runs out of time, heaves it out of bounds, and now it's going to be 4th and 19 as Hamrick went way out of bounds on the Chapmanville sideline. And thankfully able to get out of there unharmed.
You might want to check that back judge's 40. He came from the secondary and sprinted to the sidelines like he was saving a kitten from a burning house, man. He got some speed going over there.
Well, now you face the biggest play of the game here for Greenbrier East as they are looking to try and keep their season alive. They still have all 3 timeouts. And while you'd love to use one to maybe talk things over here, you really don't have the luxury of burning timeouts because you're going to have to come up with 2 stops if you don't convert here.
No, you don't, Chris. You haven't stopped them all night, and you're facing the possibility of stopping them twice. You can't burn a timeout now, and you're going to have to be in hurry-up mode. I've seen a couple times, obviously with the incomplete passes they don't have to, but when that clock's running, they're going to have to do hurry-up from this point on. They should be doing it already.
Now 4th and 19, a little bit of delay here. I'm not sure what for.
In Chapmanville, 10-0 on the season. For you guys that's not familiar with the Tigers, just tuning in, Chapmanville undefeated regular season. And right now they're trying to get their first win in the playoffs here. Chris Kidd, Dwayne Williams, Darryl McCoy on the call. 4th and 20 for Greenbrier East.
Hamrick in the pistol here. Chapmanville playing deep. They need the 25 for a first down. Hamrick flushed out of the pocket, looking. Now he's going to take off with it. He's not going to get anywhere near the first down, and Chapmanville turns Greenbrier East over on downs.
And you see the body language of the Spartans coming off there. They know how important that is. They know what this Chapmanville offense is capable of. So you see the body language a little bit deflated there coming off, but the quarterback had nowhere to throw the ball. It's a great job on the back end by the coverage. When you don't have a play in your playbook for 4th and 20, Chris.
Now Chapmanville can go to work on this clock. Again, Greenbrier East has all 3 timeouts, but they've had a lot of difficulty trying to slow down this rushing attack of Chapmanville. And if you're the Tigers right now, you just want to cover up the football, hang on to it. No easy turnovers here to try and give Greenbrier East field position back. So they want to try and work as much of this clock off as possible on this possession, and if not, just try and take the game all the way down to the end if they can as they give it off for Kovac. He'll get a yard out to about the 40-yard line.
The defense, they have to know what Chapmanville is going to do right here. They've had their issues tonight with the ball exchange. They're going to have to be safe with that. I'm not sure I would run a read option look at this point, but they're going to try to be stripping that ball. It's a question now when the coaching staff of the Spartans are going to use their timeouts. I was even questioning it there. That's it's early now, but at some point you do have to give yourself a shot. You keep letting it go. A 1-yard gain for Chapmanville is basically a loss. I mean, that is about the best it'll get at this point.
Well, I think here you got to see if they make this first down. If they make the first down, start burning them.
Here's Kovac. He breaks free into the secondary, and he's got the first down and a little extra down to the Greenbrier East 45-yard line. And now Greenbrier East in dire straits here with 3:53 to go as the clock will start to wind again here.
There's nothing more disheartening to a defense when you know what's coming and you still can't stop it. That's what this Chapmanville offense has done to people, and primarily this rushing offense just at the end of games. They're running it because they have the lead and you still can't stop it. I might look into body language too much, but you can almost see it in their body language on the sidelines, in the trenches right now. Very tough look right now for the Spartans.
It does. You can read it so well whenever you see it as Kovac gets another handoff and he barrels inside the 40-yard line. Another strong run of 7 yards as we approach 3:10 to go here in the 4th quarter. And Greenbrier East yet to use a timeout, but they really haven't been in an advantageous spot to use a timeout just yet.
Well, I, for one, guys, I am glad that Greenbrier East come out and put 37 on them because, Chapmanville needed to face some adversity. This game, whether they know it or not right now, this will help them against Bridgeport.
Absolutely, and it will quiet some of the naysayers out there because I don't care about the record. You're looking at a very quality opponent. They've only lost to top-tier teams, and that makes the team even better. So it's going to be a quality win if the Tigers hold on to this.
Dalton will give it off to Kovac again. Kovac into the secondary once more inside the 25 before he's brought down. And another first down for the Tigers as they are on the verge of icing this game away with 2:31 to play.
We wondered if they would wear them down like they have all season, and now you're seeing the 5- and 6-yard runs turn into 15 and 20. That's what we've seen all season long from this Tigers offense. Nothing different tonight.
Please tell me Greenbrier East still sitting under timeouts. You know, I mean, I do not get it.
Yeah, they've got to burn them right now. I mean, it's got to be on this series of downs. They've got to start calling them.
Yeah, at this point, you've got to hope you call timeouts and something crazy happen. They've already got one big turnover. They've got to hope for another one to even have a chance.
I mean, it's a 2-possession ball game. Even if you get the offense back, I mean, you know, you got to have time.
You got to think, even if you give up 6 right here, you're only going to be down 15.
Yeah.
You know, 16 with an extra point, so it's still only 2 possessions for a touchdown, but you got to use your timeouts.
Yeah.
And it'll be Chapmanville to use a timeout as they let the play clock run all the way down before burning it with 2:02 showing on the clock. But yeah, right now, Greenbrier East, they not only need to stop, they need a lot of help now as some of their fans starting to clear out of their cheering section. But a lot's going to have to go right now for Greenbrier East to try and get into this game again.
Yeah, it would take a very fluky scenario. You know, Chapmanville, the question all season long, especially with me personally, I look at things at the big picture, and they haven't faced any adversity, not second and long even, not third and long. Quarterback hasn't been sacked much at all the entire season. They answered that question with a very loud, resounding yes. We can handle adversity because they got punch in the mouth. They got counter punch in the mouth, and they made gutsy calls. I'm so impressed with that call by James Barker with the wide receiver screen double pass. That takes a lot of guts to make that call, Chris. Keep it PG. But from the staff, from the coaching staff, all 3 phases of the game, they've had their hiccups in the kicking game and special team coverage tonight, but they persevered, and it looks like they're going to go on for such a huge win for the program, for Coach Zach Belcher. It's just been a pleasure to watch them all year and come in here on the road in a hostile environment against a good team and back it up.
On 1st and 10, Kovac gets the carry as a flag comes in, as this could likely be a holding penalty against Chapmanville.
Over 1,200 fans tuning in right now to the ending of this game, looking to see Chapmanville advance. And we got a little under 2 minutes to go till Chapmanville can punch their ticket to face Bridgeport, but still a lot of time left in this game.
Yeah, stay tuned because we've seen fluky things happen already. We've seen a fumble return for a touchdown. We've seen a kickoff. Things happen. That's why you always tune in. You watch to the final buzzer, the final whistle, and you want to see how these teams compete. But it's just good to see a team answer questions. They come in. They have to hit the road with an undefeated record, which, you take that as a slight, whether it's granted or not, due to the scoring system and the ranking system. But to see questions answered, and like you said, it's good to see them have points scored against them, but it's also see them have some overcome some mistakes on their part.
Now, 1st down, they give it off to Kovac again. Just want to stay in bounds as Kovac bullies his way forward inside the 25-yard line, almost gets back to the original line of scrimmage. And again, Greenbrier East has not called a timeout here. I'm surprised. I mean, they've got to use them now or never.
It looks like they're just maybe waving the white flag, Chris, because, it's very, very, you see on the board 3 timeouts left. You don't see that because you want to extend the game. You never know what happens. We talked about some of the Spartan fans leaving. Chapmanville fans have a much longer drive, but I haven't seen a single orange and black clad fan leave the bleachers yet.
Nope, we'll all be heading back on the interstate together here in about
Convoy.
30 minutes.
Somebody needs to tell the Greenbrier coach that them timeouts don't carry over to next year.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that they're not at least giving themselves a chance here. As Kovac will get the carry, he'll rumble forward inside the 15, and he'll be brought down there about 2 yards shy of a 1st down.
At this point, I'd like to see Kovac over on the sidelines, rest that leg a little bit. You don't want to take a chance on anything, and you can hear the crowd. We're across the stadium, and you can hear the roar of the Tiger faithful. And why shouldn't they? They've looked forward to this all season long. They've supported, the whole entire town has supported this team. Their excitement, you can feel it. It's palpable. You can feel it. And I see kids running down, up, back and forth of the ramp, celebrating. Just a good time to be a Tigers fan.
It is. It's an impressive sight along the far side right now. You can hear them all throughout the stadium. And Chapmanville now will go to a knee, and that is coffin nails.
Yep.
Chapmanville wins a wild one here tonight over the number 8 seed Greenbrier East, 46-37 to advance to the state quarterfinals against likely number 1 seed Bridgeport.
Looks like we're getting an ice bath.
Oh, they're chasing him down. Jackson Topping got him, I believe.
He was the odds-on favorite to do that, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? They have every right to enjoy it. Again, they answered a lot of questions here tonight. So many people said they're going to lose in the first round. They can't compete against top-notch AAA competition because of the schedule that they had. And tonight, regardless, I think, of what could happen next week or what will happen next week, Chapmanville showed that, yeah, we not only belonged in these playoffs, we're one of the better teams in this playoff.
I think they should say AA schedule what? They
Yeah.
come into a AAA fantastic team, great home field advantage, battle-tested team. You know, they show a great quarterback, great offense, and they got hit, punched in the mouth immediately. Within a few seconds, they were down in the game. They haven't experienced that the whole entire season. What an answer from play calling. You know, it wasn't without the warts. They had some miscues, but I think they're better for it next week. They got something to talk about. They got something to say, hey, we battled that adversity. That was the question. And you know what? You can talk all you want about our regular season schedule. We took care of business, and we took care of business in the first round of the playoffs.
And I tell you what, it's been an exciting evening. It was an exciting game. If you didn't get a chance to watch all of it, definitely go back and check it out here on D&D Sports. And again, hats off to Greenbrier East. What a game they put together tonight. What a team they have. And it's one of those games where you just ran into a team that's pretty similar to you, and Chapmanville just made a couple of more plays down the stretch than Greenbrier East was able to. But 46-37 tonight. Chapmanville wins it. Darryl, anything to say before we go tonight? Again, we still have Tug Valley Wellness Center player of the game.
Yeah,
that we want to go with.
Yeah, Tug Valley Wellness Clinic player of the game. You know, I think there's only one kid you can give it to, and I think that's double deuces.
Yeah.
Preston Kovac, his return. You can see what he meant to this Tiger offense.
I'd have to agree with that. Again, there's a lot of candidates tonight, but Kovac, I would have never imagined he would have got the carries he got tonight with the injury he was going through the last 3 weeks, and he just really braved through it here tonight. And senior in what could have been his last game, he really helped carry this team to a victory here tonight.
He absolutely did, Chris. And you can see him now on the field there while they're talking and celebrating. He's walking gingerly. You know, he gave it all. He did not want this to be his last game.
Guys, real quick, let's catch up on some scores from around the region. Russell defeats Bourbon County 14-7. Pikeville defeats Williamsburg 35-12. Breathitt County up on Bracken County 35-7. Prestonsburg takes care of Knott Central in impressive fashion, 55-6. Belfry 63. Martin County 7. Mingo Central 24-14 over James Monroe. Johnson Central season ends after an undefeated regular season.
Wow.
Covcath knocks out the Golden Eagles in a huge upset.
Wow.
So then you got Highland 45, Ashland 7. You know, Johnson Central was the #1 ranked team in the Cofields, and you know they just got beat. And then you got Bell County 43-14 over Knox Central. Lawrence County pulled out a close one over Rockcastle, 32-26. Somerset 26-13 over Danville. And we also got Hazard falls to Middlesboro 16-6. And Logan falls to Doddridge County 52-7. And guys, don't forget you can watch the Tug Valley Panthers tomorrow at 1 p.m. So make sure everybody cheers on the Panthers. Hopefully they can punch their ticket to the second round, guys. As Dwayne Williams, Chris Kidd, Darryl McCoy, guys, we want to thank the broadcast partners that made tonight's broadcast happen. Smell My Tarts, Blessings and Blooms, Rebound Physical Therapy and Sports Performance, Chris, who's got the best cheese sticks in West Virginia?
You know it's Cheech's, baby.
There you go, Cheech's Pizza. Listen, Dwayne, if you're going to go pawn a weed eater, a lawnmower, or something like that in Chapmanville, where are you going to go?
Perry Brothers.
Yep, Perry Brothers Pawn. Guys, for all your pharmaceutical needs, call Aracoma Drug, Diamond Flagging Company, Why I Care, Missy Birchfield at State Farm, Jim Mar Services, Chiefs Roadhouse, Logan Bank and Trust, Styles Unlimited Salon, Trend Services, and want to thank our big-time partner, Logan Regional Medical Center. Logan Regional Medical Center are winners in healthcare, just like the Chapmanville Tigers are winners in the first round. Guys, catch us next week in Bridgeport. Chris Kidd, Dwayne Williams, voice of the Chapmanville Tigers football program. Guys,